Good afternoon, Twitch. How's everybody today? Thanks for joining me on the stream. Hope you had fun with the trivia. Need to check to see if anyone's actually submitted some new questions. I don't see them rolling in, so I don't check them as often as I probably should. But if you want to submit some trivia questions for fun, go to this link right here, bit.ly/submit trivia, and submit your multiple choice trivia question. You know, computer or technical related, or even just something relatively nerdy. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so this is number 89. Welcome to my office, hanging out here. It might be a little bit noise next door today. Remodeling is still going on. They've pretty much finished the room, the main room, and then there's some cabinets they're going to put in the laundry room and garage area. So you might hear some saw noises and some hammering in the background, but it shouldn't be as loud as it was, a week ago or whatever. So today, I'm going to get to Azure Functions, because I didn't get to it on Tuesday. Hopefully it won't take very long, because it'll either work or it won't, and we'll know pretty quickly. And then I want to get to some Couchbase FakeIt stuff. So one of the things I did for integration testing was I used the Couchbase FakeIt image from Brant, and it worked great. If I had to name a problem with the FakeIt though, there's only enterprise editions of Couchbase on there.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
What's happening, Surly Dev? Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for saying hi. Stream title. Oh, did I mess up the office hours? Copy and paste. It's just ffice hours. Let me have a look at my Twitter. Yep, ffice hours. Well, you know, close enough. What's a big O? You know, capital O. No big deal. Sorry about that. I can edit it live. Maybe. I don't know if... I certainly can't edit the tweets. Let's see. How do I make edits here on Slobs? Oh, you do it on Copabilities? Can you edit it if you have moderator privileges? Can you go ahead and edit that? Let me see. Let me click on some of these Slobs things. You fix his typos. Well, that's nice of you. Let's see. Confirm stream title. No, I think you have to be stream editor permissions too. Okay, well, I'm not super concerned about it. Oh, here we go. Edit your stream title. Okay, there we go. The little pencil icon right there at the top. There, I just fixed it. Boom. Thank you for that, Silly Dev. Appreciate that. So we're going to see if I can get Couchbase FakeIt. Well, I'm going to see if I can get it to work locally. I'm going to just basically fork Brant's repo, try to get to work locally, and then change it to use Community Edition. Hey, Code with Sean, you feel better too? That's great. I'm glad you feel better. Sorry that was bothering you, a little typo. Actually, it was more like a copy and paste mistake. I just didn't copy the whole string. So I'm going to see if I can get that, and I'll send him a pull request. I'm not sure how he's going to handle that. I'm not really sure how his build process works. To push those out to Docker. Deleted. What are you doing? What are you doing there, Surly Dev? You're deleting documentation, and auto documentation as permitted terms? You don't like documentation. I'm going to have to ask you to undelete those terms, because I do write documentation on the stream. Nothing wrong with documentation. Look at these guys, a couple of goofs. They're off on their own little tangents here, making all kinds of jokes. You mean as a word? You don't like the word documentation? Well, again, I'll ask you to please. I don't know. I'll have to do that myself later, but please allow those terms in the channel, if you would, please. Auto documentation. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm not a huge fan of auto documentation. Either, but if someone wants to say it in the chat, totally fine. And so if we get through those two things, something that was brought up by a raider a few weeks ago, I think, is this something called Clash of Code, which if you've not seen this before, I actually went and checked it out, and it's kind of fun. You know, it's not really, I mean, it's kind of hit or miss, depending on what kind of problems you get. It's a lot of stuff that's very like, you know, I'm a college student in computer science. solve this little tricky math or logic problem. And it's not so much about the code as is it about the math and the logic, but not always. So there's some fun ones in there. It'll be good. Please try to say the word documentation. At the tone, say the word documentation. Beep. All right, and as always, the only stupid question in this stream is the one you don't ask. So, as you can see, a bunch of goofballs hanging out in the chat there, but don't let them intimidate you. If you have a question, ask away. Doesn't matter how intro level it is. Doesn't matter how bizarre it is. Someone asked me the last stream if I dip cookies in water before I eat them. That's totally fine. It's a safe place to ask questions. Hopefully they're not cookie-related questions. Hopefully they're more programming and computer science. That's what I said, Surly Dev. Water. He said milk or water. And I was like, I did dip it in milk. But then I read it again. I was like, wait a second. Water? No on the water. Yeah, milk for me. I don't keep a lot of milk around, but yeah, milk. Tea, I could see you dipping, not a cookie, but like, sort of a, I don't know what digestive biscuits are. We don't have, at least they're not called that in the States here. But like not like a savory cookie sort of thing, like maybe like a biscotti or something. I could see dipping that into tea, sure. Yes, but water? I mean, well, like people in the States here, sometimes you dip a donut into coffee. And it generally works for like plain donuts, right? You don't dip like a jelly-filled donut in coffee. Yeah, I know that I've seen digestive biscuits before. I just don't know if they're not marketed like that in the States. I don't know if we even have them. But they might go by something else. But I mean, yeah, if it's not like a super sweet thing, yeah, if it's more like a shortbread, I could definitely see that happening in the States. Now you're curious about what? Never felt like dipping a donut in tea? I don't know if that'd be any good or not. Dipping a donut in tea, I don't know. But in the States, it's the donuts you dip in coffee. It's typically going to be like a cake donut, probably a plain cake donut. It's not going to be your glazed donuts or your yeast donuts or your frosted, those types of things. It's just going to be the plain donut that gets dipped. Oh, I got to turn my light on here. I'm seeing a little bit of there we go, dark spot. So anyway, yes, besides foods and dipping and liquids to dip them in, feel free to ask questions in here. This is a very beginner-friendly place to ask questions. Speaking of beginner-friendly places to ask questions, why don't I bring up a browser here and show you the Live Coders team that I'm a member of. Wow, I think this is the first time in weeks I've not seen Lana Lux here at the top. She's finally taking a break, maybe. But we got some different people up here. So this is a team, 168 strong, of live coders here on Twitch, and these are the people who are streaming right now. And I'll come back to this list here towards the end of the stream, and we'll pick somebody to raid. I think I didn't raid CLW, but I was in CLW's channel yesterday. Always a good channel, Builder Builder, always a good stream there. A few others I've not dropped into yet, so we may pick one of them if they're still streaming. But if you're looking for someone to stream, if you're watching this on YouTube, for instance, go to twitch.tv/team/livecoders and take a look at the list. And another place you can go, which Surly Dev is very familiar with, is the awesome developers streaming list. Your good friends of Developers Garage, he's not streaming today. Yeah, Ryan Overton, yes, not streaming today. I haven't been in his channel in a while. But I think our schedules kind of don't really mesh when it comes to raids, so I'll drop in every once in a while. And I'd also like, so why don't we give Developers Garage a shout out. And we'll also give, who else did I say? I can't remember. I'm going to give somebody else a shout out. Oh, the one I want to shout out is one of my faves to check out whenever he's streaming is Kevin Griffin. One Kev Griff. Yes, I'm still a notable person. Should I add this to the beginning of my stream? Bring up Grove City High notable people. Here I am. For some reason, no one's removed it yet. I'm an author, developer, and streamer on Twitch. I'm the only one without a link, though. Who else is in here? Let's see. Yes, we've got a baseball. There's another pitcher who was just drafted, I think. Has not played for the majors yet, so maybe that's not notable. But at least two pitchers recently have come out of Grove City, Ohio, have been drafted or signed to big league deals. So that's pretty cool. And Richard Cordray, maybe I've heard of him before. I actually used to work for him, not directly, but worked for his department at the state government. But yes, here I am at the bottom of that list, right next to Richard Cordray and Mike Mayers. Because no one is responsible enough to delete that yet. I didn't add that, by the way. That was not my addition, just for any Wikipedia police watching. I didn't add that. But Awesome Developer Streams. This is something we found just yesterday. I found the new entry on here, someone that I wanted to follow. It was Brant Ozar, who is a SQL Server, well-known SQL Server expert. And I just found that by going to this list and doing a search for data. So you can do the same sort of thing. Put a GitHub. Oh, excuse me. Having a little bit wild cherry Pepsi today. Not my main drink, but it's what we have around. And I don't generally like Pepsi, but I do like the wild cherry Pepsi. GitHub/BNB/awesome developer streams. And you can check out a huge list here of developers and what they're streaming about and where they're streaming. This is not just Twitch exclusive. It could be Periscope. It could be Facebook. It could be YouTube, whatever. Most likely it's going to be Twitch and YouTube, but there's other options on there, so you can go check that out, see where people are streaming, and follow them, and check out their streams. It'll be good stuff. You can find previous episodes of this Office Hours stream on bit.ly/GrovesTube. Go there and check it out. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. Although you probably skip past this part to get to the actual coding and office hour stuff. But thank you for watching anyway. Events coming up. So I haven't had a list of events to promote in a while. I'm starting to build that list back up again with this one. This is another person I'm going to shout out. Is Tail Learn Code, who is here on Twitch. And this is Chad Green. He is head organizer, I guess, of Codepalooza conference. And so in advance of the Codepalooza conference, which normally takes place in person in Louisville, Kentucky, it's going to be a virtual event this year. But in advance of that, he's interviewing many or all, I guess, of the speakers, of which I am one, for the conference. And my slot has been postponed a couple of times due to various issues, technical issues mainly. But this next time, hopefully, third time's a charm, July 16th, right here on Twitch, Tail Learn Code, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll be talking to Chad Green. That should be fun times. Chad's a great guy, great events, and maybe have a chance to tell a few stories about previous Codepaloozas or whatever comes up. Should be fun. So add that to your calendar. All right. Oh yes, and don't forget down there below, if you on the chat here, if you have some Buckazoids, channel points you want to spend, I've got a new reward here. I'll throw up trivia on the screen, and I'll play along with you. Or we can throw up a quick game of Jackbox, like Quiplash or, Fibbage or something like that. Play a quick round of Jackbox. But you got to redeem reward for that. But that's a good way to spend your Buckazoids. All right, so let's get to it. So we had Dota 2 Attitude. He was on last week. That was a great episode. Go back and watch that one. There on YouTube, bit.ly/GrovesTube. We submitted a Couchbase Winget package. Why don't we check on that? See what the status is. I haven't gotten an update on that. Winget, GitHub. So I assume it's still out there. And I assume that they have a lot of these coming in. Yeah, 125 pull requests. So let's just take a look here. So you can see mine was 2 days ago on Tuesday. And these are all the pull requests that have come in since then. So they've got quite a lot of work. Now I've got a couple of X's here. I'm wondering why, because I'm seeing some that are in front of me that have check marks. So I'm wondering, hey, Matthews, every time, Guy from Mars, you spell my name wrong. I'm wondering if it's on purpose. It's 2 T's and no S for Matthews. 2 T's. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not seeing any tags or any sort of comments on this, so I'm just going to let it ride a little more. see what happens next week. But there it is. Easy enough to add that pull request. I just followed uh, Calvin's submission from before. It was nice and easy to do. Did a little local validation. Couchbase guy. Yep, that's me. The old Couchbase guy. So that one is, I'm going to leave that there because I want to check on it. The Laravel. So I did this on Tuesday, I think, and had some problems. It's going to be bang help there, JR Lawhorn, to get the commands. We had some problems with this. We didn't get to fixing it, but I did take some time afterwards. I experimented with a few things, and it looks to be an issue with the startup script, the configuration script. So this is also part of one of the reasons I want to get some PRs into Couchbase FakeIt, because I think this demo could benefit from using Couchbase FakeIt if there was a community edition, which JR is very much in favor of a community, making this for community edition by default, right? But the good news here is that I got that working. I did a little bit of manual steps. Office hours does it mean you're at the office at the moment? Yes, I'm always at my office. In fact, this is my office, but I'm inviting you in to my office. Oh, you just got slapped. You just got trouted. Yes, but this is your invitation to come into my office and hang out for a while. But I'm literally in my office. I work from home in the first place, and I'm working from home even harder these days because well, not everyone, but many people are working from home due to the events this year. But yes, this is my office. And it's all green screened out, but there's just a wall back there, and you can see I've got some tables over there with soldering equipment on them, electronics, and old computers. I've got my Nintendo shelf in the far corner. I got my media server over there, just little lights bleeping away. I got some shelves with a bunch of random junk on it. My MVP, various other speaker gifts and trophies and things. And then my kids, I got a whole trophy case for my kids' stuff, their baseball stuff, and spelling bees and dance and gymnastics, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you got slapped for spelling it wrong. You better watch it. You're gonna get a trout. And then over here, I've got another table with a bunch of junk mail I need to process, and my VR headset that's not really working right now. And what else have I got? I've got some posters. I got a whiteboard over here, some Star Wars wall art over there. My safe is over here with my important papers and stuff in it. And up on the window shelf back there, I've got a bunch of Homestar Runner toys up there on the shelf with a portal turret. Some cool stuff there. But it's kind of a mess right now because of the remodel. A bunch of junk's in here, taking up my normal VR play space with furniture and other totes of junk. So it's a bit of a mess right now. But yeah, I'm in my office. So that's working. So I've got JR, who is in the channel hanging out, but JR will be on the stream next Thursday, is what our current plan is, to sort of teach me some Laravel and teach me some Couchbase with Laravel. We're going to go through and we're going to build. We got a loose plan for building some sort of functionality, various things we can do with Laravel and or Couchbase. So this should be fun. Get back into some PHP. All right, so this is some of my list of the future here. So we talked about Azure functions. Let's see if we can't put that in today. And maybe these PRs and maybe some Clash of Code, if I can get the copy and paste to work. And we got future stuff. So C# Advent. This is something that's coming up. Whenever I see two T's appears in someone's name, I assume they're deliberately made it that way. Probably the name was used by someone else. There are Matts and Matthews with one T, but for the record, I was named after Matthew the Apostle, who is very clearly on Wikipedia spelled with two T's. So there you go. That is why I have two T's in my name. The only other Matt I can think of with one T in his name and is Matt Latos, and this always bothered me about him. This was the number one thing that bothered me about him. There's lots of things to be bothered about with Matt Latos, but the fact that he spelled it with one T always bothered me. Or his parents, I guess, spelled it with one T. But those other Matts are one T. But two T's is the most common spelling because of the apostle. Yeah, so anyway, C# Advent website. So this is speaking of apostles, by the way, this is something I do every year, the C# Advent. Do you have friends, Mark, Luke, and John? So I don't. I have a friend named John. I used to work with a John and a Luke. No Mark, though. But when I was young, my parents have 5 kids total, but at one point they had 4 kids. And when we go to church, the pastor would come by and he'd bop us on the head, be like, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Even though it was just me, it was Matthew. The rest of us were not named for those particular apostles. But that's what he would do. So, but yes, have you ever worked on game development? Only for fun. I never worked on a game for any sort of job, anything like that. But yeah, definitely I've built games before and played around with game dev kits. The C# Advent website is basically the Advent, the Christmas Advent, with 25 days, starting December 1st to December 25th. And what we do is, in advance, we have some authors sign up to write blog posts about something with C#. And so on December 1st, those first 2 go live. So people publish a blog post, 2 people publish blog posts for December 1st. And then December 2nd, we have another 2. So at the end on Christmas Day, we have a total of 50 blog posts related to C#. And this is a cool kind of tradition. I've done it the last 3 years. This will be the 4th year. It's just been kind of an ad hoc thing I've done on my own personal blog at crosscuttingconcerns.com. But this year, I'm bringing in some help, and we're going to try to make it its own standalone website with a design and all kinds of other cool stuff to make it easier for me, for one, and to make it more pleasant for everyone else. So we're working on that. So I don't know. Right now, we're just kind of in the requirements gathering phase. We're thinking about what it's going to look like. What budget do we have? How are we going to build this? We're going to use existing tools, etc. Why was Java gaining more popularity than C# during the 2000s? I don't, maybe because C# was just created in like the early 2000s, so it was kind of newer than Java, I guess. I guess that could be one reason. I don't know for sure that it was more popular than C# during the entire run. And I can only speculate why one was more popular than the other. I'm guessing because Java was kind of there first and had the really interesting, garbage collection and the idea that's never really fully realized, but the write once, run anywhere sort of thing. So that's probably why. I don't know. I don't know if it's still more popular than C# or not. Do I prefer Android or iOS? Personally, as someone who is, so my personal smartphones, they're all Android. I don't have the kind of money to spend on Apple products. So Android is what I prefer. And technically, if I had to pick those 2, Android, but my favorite mobile OS of all time is Windows Mobile. Not Windows Phone, Windows Mobile, which died out a long time ago, so it's really not an option anymore. But this is Windows. This is all pictures of Windows Phone. Where is Windows Mobile? Windows Mobile 6.1. Let's try that. Yes, here we go. This is more like it. Look at HTC. Lumia? That's like a Windows Phone, I think, right? This is more like what I was into. Something like this. This wasn't the exact model. But there's an HTC phone, very much like the slide-out keyboard, the slide-out physical keyboard, which I just loved that. and the Windows operating system, which, I mean, at the time, this was before iOS, before Android were really, really kind of took over the market. But Windows Mobile was incredible smartphones, and I loved writing, loved coding for them. It was good stuff, but they don't exist anymore, so it doesn't matter. But that was my favorite mobile OS of all time. It's incredible things you could do with that phone. Back in, we're talking 2000, 2005, 2006. I wrote a BlackBerry app many years ago that was Java Dev before they tanked. Oh, yeah, BlackBerry was kind of, I guess BlackBerry was kind of the leader back then. Windows Phone was kind of second banana to BlackBerry. Did Windows Phone fail because of Steve Ballmer as CEO? Asking the tough questions. I have honestly I am just tired of discussing Windows Phone. Every single .NET user group I go to and I've presented at, if I'll go out to drinks or snacks after the user group, it'll just a matter of time before Windows Phone's brought up as a topic. And talking about why it failed, what it did wrong, blah blah blah. Oh, here's Jeff Blankenberg. Maybe he can give you a better answer as why did Windows Phone fail, Jeff Blankenberg? Was it because Steve Ballmer was CEO? A little background, Jeff Blankenberg worked as a Microsoft evangelist during those peak Windows Phone years. So I remember several presentations I think he did about Windows Phone and blog posts and content. He doesn't work for Microsoft anymore. He works for Amazon. It's another live streamer you should follow, by the way. Give Jeff a shout out. Blankenberg, if I can spell it right. I always have trouble with that. Jeff says it wasn't Ballmer, so there you go. There's a definitive answer. It wasn't Ballmer. I'm sure Jeff could give you lots of interesting stories and discussion about Windows Phone in maybe a more relaxed setting than a recorded public stream. But yeah. Oh gosh, Guy from Mars, keeping those questions coming. What's your opinion on the Swift language? I have not used it. I'll have an opinion anyway, not a terribly informed opinion. I think Objective-C looks terrible. I hate it. I don't want to ever write it. And I think probably many iOS devs feel the same way. So when I look at Swift, again, I've not used really either of those languages. Swift just looks so much better to me than Objective-C. So that's my 2 cents. Let's see. Here's Jeff Blankberg. iOS and Android were too entrenched. Instagram, pre-Facebook, was a big part. They absolutely refused to make a Windows Phone 7 app. Well, there you go. Interesting that he's signaling out one particular company, Instagram, which was before they were bought by Facebook. I think there was some other big players in that space who also either refused to or deprioritized making Windows Phone apps. And yeah, I think I'd agree with that. But why didn't Ballmer just march into their office and start slapping them around? It's still Ballmer's fault there, Blankenberg, for not getting Instagram to make an app. Good questions though. Broad questions. So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into Azure Functions first, and you're pretty sure he did go into the Instagram offices. Maybe that's why they refused to make one, because Ballmer came in there and he started, throwing chairs and elbow drops through tables, and they were just like, "We're not making a Windows Phone app with this guy. No way." Okay, and if we have time, we'll play some Clash of Code at the end. Should be fun. All right, let's get to Azure Functions. So I've done Azure Functions before. I've done them on the stream before. What I'm most interested in checking out is a timer / cron, or whatever they call them, scheduled jobs. I would pay good money to see a Ballmer elbow drop. You and me both. Oh no. Why isn't my thing coming up? My alert box. We got a raid. Oh, it's supposed to be coming up on the screen here. Oh gosh, sorry, not we don't get the full fanfare. I had the alert box turned off, but it's a raid. Oh no. Okay, so do I have it implemented yet? I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Everybody, bang defend to defend the raid from Corey CLW. I was just mentioning earlier on the stream as a fellow member of Live Coders. Yes, get Calvin's face up there. Get that bada bing, bada boom to defend against CLW. What's going on? Greetings, friends. That is a very aggressive greetings, friends. 4 exclamation points, all caps. But I love it. How are you doing, CLW? Hope you had a great stream. How was your stream today? Hope you all learned something fun from CLW. Always a great stream to hang out in. And welcome Raiders. And Copper Beardy dropping the 4 beards. Are you part of the raid, Copper Beardy, or are you just hanging out? You just refreshed to get rid of the refer, and it put me behind an ad. Ah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Hey, it's Kevin Griffin mentioning him earlier on, too. Well, thank you for coming over part of the raid, Copper Beardy. You were also getting mentioned earlier on. We're mentioning all 3 of you before this raid even happened. We mentioned, what's his name? Surly Dev was talking about how he corrects your typos, Copper Beardy. I was calling out Kevin Griffin, just one of my favorite streamers. And I was mentioning CLW when we were on the Live Coders page. Code Stencil, what's going on? Welcome. Yep. Well, you know, I always mention the same sort of group of people that I like to hang out with. The coolest people, the coolest streamers. So it's not that much of a coincidence. Everyone likes correcting my typos. You know, Surly Dev did the same thing to me, Copper Beardy. I say office hours in the name of my stream. I didn't copy and paste the O, so it was just ffice hours. Hey, CLW, enjoy your meeting. The best of your abilities, but thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Have a good one. So yes, I had to fix a typo, and Sean was also, it was bothering Sean. So I got the typo fixed live. You'll all be happy to know the typo has been fixed. All right, Visual Studio is what I'm going to open up now, because we're going to write some Azure function. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just try a new project. Let's see if there's an Azure function template in here. I'm pretty sure there is. Come on. What's going on here? Azure function. Visual Studio is struggling. Here we go. Azure function. All right. I'm just going to do this locally. I don't even need to deploy it to Azure today. This is just a spike. See, like a cron or scheduled whatever spike. Ultimately, I don't know if I'm be able to use an Azure function for the project I'm thinking about. But the code I want to write does not involve any sort of data access, and it just sort of runs like on a regular basis. And by data access, I mean it's not storing any state of its own. It's just going to be listening to something or checking something and then posting something else, kind of like a connector. So I thought this would be a good place, you know, an Azure function would be a good place for that. So I'm just going to quick spike here and see how this goes. All right, so what do we got? This is a longer list of triggers than I've seen last time. We've got event grid. It's not really what I'm looking for. HTTP, IoT, queue, timer is what I'm looking for. Yep, that's it. So here is the cron string. And storage account, that's fine. Storage emulator is fine. I am terrible at reading cron strings, but I'm just going to leave that as it is. I assume we'll be able to adjust it in the code. But let's go ahead and run this. Pretty much that answers my question about Azure Functions. I don't really have to do much else, but let's just, I'm interested to see how this is going to work when I run it locally. Like, can I manually trigger it? So the difference here from what I've seen before is that I've got this timer trigger attribute and timer info object coming in and the log. So unlike an HTTP function, there's no post or get or anything like that coming in. It's just, hey, I'm being run on a certain schedule. I'd be curious, is there something out there that can help me translate cron strings? like cron string, I don't know, builder. I think there must be cron maker. Free online cron expression generator and describer. Well, describer I like. So I go and put this in here. Describe that expression to me. Hello? Why aren't you describing? Is this failing? Yep, we're seeing some fail here. So that's not working. Cron maker. Also an error occurring there, apparently in Turkish. Crontab.guru is my favorite. Well, thank you for the suggestion there, one Kev Griff. So I can post this in here. And I can see, what does this mean? So, what does this mean? What I'm trying to do is both build one and maybe describe one. This is the default one that Azure Functions template gave me. So I'm guessing it's it says step values. So this is probably hour, minute, hour, day, month, day of the week. But we've got 6 items in here. Oh, I see. So go through here. Month, day. Still not exactly sure what I'm looking at, but I think this is hour. So this is just every 5 hours? Is that what this means? Too many options? Well, I mean, I'm just copying and pasting from Azure here. This is completely generated template. We got 4 asterisks, 5, 6 total tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I just do a random, now I have only 5 tokens instead of 6. So is this some sort of non-standard cron that Azure Functions is using? Wouldn't be terribly surprised. Oh, that was the next option down here, by the way. Man cron tab. Well, I don't think that's going to work here on Windows, but I could try it on Azure. Oh, wait, whoa, what's happening? PowerShell is doing something. It's looking for cron tab help. Okay, and it couldn't find one. But we could do it over here maybe, cron tab. All right, so here's the cron tab manual on Ubuntu anyway. Okay, this is not really helping me to read the different options. Okay, what I'm looking for is something like the regex. There's a regex website as well that you can just sort of post a regex in and apply it to strings and just sort of give you a visual check. And you know, I'm much more of a UI mouse moving around visual type of developer than I am a command line type of oriented developer, as I think JR has probably discovered in our recent collaborations. Not against dropping down to a man cron tab, but just not seeing. This isn't very easy to sort of like skim through, you know. Cron tabs are terrible to try to understand. Okay, then why are you sending me there? All right, complete the following form to generate a cron tab line. Yeah. Well, this isn't terribly useful. So I kind of like cron tab guru here, but what is going on with? Okay, what is going on with this expression? I'm getting by default. Laravel has its own scheduler, and you put one cron entry in that runs the scheduler every minute. Oh, if you heard that beeping noise, that, by the way, is a new phone that I purchased from a very low-cost carrier to keep around the house as just like a household phone, and or to give one of the kids when they're out and about. So my son is starting to enter the sports programs at school, and he's going to be going to like strength and conditioning training on a regular basis. And at some point, we're probably going to. So he's getting old enough now where we're probably going to let him go there on his own, and come back on his own, one or both. It's not very far. It's a pretty short walk from our house. But, I want to have a phone with him so that I can see where he is and keep track of him. Or he can call us if there is any sort of problem or question or emergency. So I got a very low-cost phone carrier with like no data plan, just a few, like 100 minutes and unlimited text, and that's going to be totally fine. And it's also a phone that can just sort of be around the house. And if it's around the house, then of course we have Wi-Fi for data. We don't need the data plan. Although not thinking about it, we probably need the data plan in order to keep track of him, like with Google Maps sort of thing. So that's probably not going to work. Not a big deal. So this is kind of nice because if I take away that, I can see that this gives this is the English version of what that cron expression means. At minute 0 past every 5th hour. That means every 5 hours is what this expression is saying. Run this every 5 hours. So what if I go ahead and run this? Just as is. What's going to happen? I've mentioned cron in this channel here before when I've done some Hangfire stuff. You got to go way back for the Hangfire videos. But the one thing Hangfire does I really like is it comes with some fluent builders to help you describe cron strings in a more fluent way. Yeah, wait 5 hours to find out. Starting this Azure storage emulator. I haven't done this in a while either, so I'm not sure if this is going to be something that's slow or what. Visual Studio is not happy with me right now. I'm wondering, I don't want to have to wait 5 hours to test this. Okay. I'm getting a Windows Defender. I'm going to go and allow that. Let's see. The next 5 occurrences of function schedule. So it's kind of showing me the times. But that doesn't look like every 5 hours, though, does it? It looks like every 5 minutes. So what is up with that? Okay, so that first 0 there, I think that's the non-standard part of this Azure expression, because every 5th minute, that makes more sense with what I'm actually seeing here on the Azure Functions log. Maybe you all can't see it, but there, I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see there those 7/9/2020. This is American format of date, so that's July 9th, 2020. 14:45, which is about 3 minutes from now. 14:50, 14:55, etc. And those are all Eastern time, apparently, because 14:45 corresponds to 2:45, which is just about here. Yeah, freedom dates, as we call them here in the States. Well, actually, there's a piece of software that we're kind of building and dogfooding at Couchbase to help us track conferences and speaking events, which turns out maybe not super important right now. But we have that software going, and it was built primarily by, I say primarily, almost exclusively by the European member of our team. And he just went with the European format dates, the day, month, year format, which made it very confusing for us at first. So that was our first request, was put these in a sort of a neutral format, like year-month-day format. So I'm just going to sort of hang out here, maybe. This is kind of inconvenient. If I wanted to test this function, I don't want to have to wait. If I want to test it locally, I don't want to have to wait for up to 5 minutes for it. So Azure Functions Timer testing. Is there a way I can trigger it independently? I have a client app that I always format dates as year, month, day, and they always get upset. That one, that seems neutral. Why would they get upset about that? That's like the most readable date of all. Whatever. I think that's one that we could probably all agree on if we had to. I usually make a command for dev and test, then run the command with the scheduler. Oh, so you do use Azure Functions there, JL Lawhorn, is what you're saying. And that's how you do it. You have a second thing. Because it's not freedom units. Oh, they want it to be month, day, year. Day, month, year is the proper way. No, Copperbeardy is. If it's fine if you know all the people using it are used to that format and they're European. But you show that to me, and I'll completely my brain will just melt trying to figure out like, oh, what day is that? And I'll probably get it wrong if it's something like, you know, like something that's within 12, right? I'll be like, oh, 10/8/2020. Oh, that must be October 8th. No, it's August 10th. Oh, use Laravel on Ubuntu VPS using Forge. Same concept still. Got it. Yeah, you mentioned Laravel already. Yeah, I don't know. You're getting the swift kick from one Kev Griff there, Copperbeardy, for your dates. But I mean, but again, I want to be fair here. Saying this format here, month, day, year. Again, that's also not a very helpful date format unless you know your entire audience is based in the U.S. So, I mean, this is the one I actually prefer. Is with the dashes. This format here, or I think it's known as ISO something date format. 8601. Yes, ISO 8601. This is the one I usually tend to favor. Yes. Yeah, and this is also right sortable, like lexicographically sortable. If I'm allowed to say something so fancy, lexicographically sortable, which means alphabetical sorting sorts these dates as well. Thursday, July 9th, 2020. That's the better way to say it, right? But if you're looking at a date picker, like I don't want to have to select Thursday, right? The July 9th, 2020. Okay, maybe I can see that. But not lexicographically sortable. Unlike 8601. Is it lexicographically? Is that the correct way to say it? Lexicographically sortable dates. Lexicographical. There we go. Which is basically, if you sort things alphabetically, it's also sortable. You know, the dates are also can be sorted the same way. Could make it locale specific on the UI. Store it in UTC. Yes, of course. That's the way to go. Chaotic neutral. 2020-7-9. I assume that's July 9th, 2020, or is that September 7th? Because that'd be chaotic. Or are you saying I'm chaotic neutral? But it's like it's descending from like the biggest time unit down to smallest, right? So it's year, month, day, hour, minute, second, millisecond, etc. All single digits. Yeah, is that still lexicographically sortable? I don't think so. Anywho, let's see. Have I killed enough time for it to run? Yep, it did run. Great. But I'm curious, before I just move on with my life and say, okay, I can do that. How do I actually trigger this? Code and test Azure functions locally. Okay. Is there anything specific about timer? Timer testing locally. Oh, here's a little blog post. How to test timer-based Azure functions locally. All right. Only work on the schedule asset, console window. Yep, okay. How can I force this function to run so I can test it locally without waiting for the next schedule to run? Exactly the question I have. So thank you, Sean Killeen, for the incredible blog post here. You can make a post request to execute the function. Ah. So that was kind of what JR was getting at. He has like his own action that you trigger separately. Was it even through like an HTTP endpoint, maybe? But apparently this is already exists. This is already doing this. Sean is good dude. You know Sean Killeen. Well, look, he's in Virginia, so you must have worked with him. He's relatively close to you. and MVP too. I may have met him before, for all I know. He's a .NET MVP. I probably have run across him. I probably rubbed shoulders with him at the summit at some point. Okay. Post request. Correct component need to specify an empty data payload. So this is like a curl. Yay, Virginia. Are you also in Virginia, J.R. Lawhorn? What part of Virginia are you in, if you don't mind saying? I'll bring up Postman here. My ear is perked up. Was there a disturbance in the force? I don't think so. Did you know that trick, by the way? Shenandoah Valley, near Staunton. Or Staunton. This is a trick with Postman, by the way. If you've never done this before, one of the annoying things about being a Windows developer is when you come across a developer who runs Windows. Stop, Postman. Is when you come across curl examples in blog posts and documentation. Like, well, curl's not going to work the same way for me. Here's a trick. Go to Postman, File, Imports, paste raw text, paste the curl in here. Postman will translate that into a Postman-friendly request here. Easy as that. Oh, that Sean. Yeah, we were talking about a different Sean. Sorry. So a Sean who actually is helping us out instead of just, throwing out little jokey remarks. Sean Killeen. Not Sean, not code with Sean. Okay, so I'm going to try it. So what's the name of the function? The name of the function is, very clever, function 1. What's with the, oh my dog. Yep, I just went there. I'm bringing the comedic relief. Function 1, send it. What are you saying, oh my dog for? I like that emote. Is that one of yours, Kev Griff, or is that just a what do you call it? Built-in Twitch one. This isn't working. Is it not 7071? Yeah. Okay. Random Twitch one. So this isn't working. Admin functions my function. And if I import that function, so this trick isn't working, sadly. Just take a look at this graphic up here. One of my favorite logos of all time, right there. The lightning bolt and the angle brackets. I love it, and I love the ASCII version of it. It's my favorite thing about Azure Functions. So this trick isn't working. This was updated, man, not even a month ago. So this has got to be something I'm doing wrong, which is not a surprise to me. Let's have a look here. Sending requests, 7071 admin functions, function 1. Mine's called function 1. Yep. Body is empty, just like the post says. Here, let me bring this up over here. Empty payload, headers, application JSON, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Here's what I'm going to try. This is probably not going to work either. I'm going to try it from Linux. And let's see what happens. Running the curl from Linux. Now, I suspect there's maybe some network things going on. It's not going to be able to reach it, but let's see what happens. Oh my dog. So back in the day, IRC days, one of the things we would do is localhost is relative. Right, exactly. With WSL, it's going to be different localhosts. One of the things, just oh my dog kind of reminded me, we would say OMG a lot in IRC chats, but one day someone made a typo. They put OMH, which is, H is right next to G. So it was OMH. And that was just kind of a funny little typo, but we're bored college kids or whatever. So we decided that meant "oh my hog," "oh my hog." So we would say "oh my hog." It's kind of a little catchphrase we'd have in that little channel from time to time. "Oh my hog." Well, that's not working. But this should, based on this blog post tip, because localhost here in Postman is the same localhost running in Azure Functions. This is not a deal breaker. I can figure out a workaround for this. But just curious if that would work. It doesn't seem to be. Post admin functions function name endpoint. Admin functions my function. Okay. Function will then be executed. Does it need to be HTTPS for some reason? Doesn't look like it. Don't know. Well, it's a really it's exactly what I was looking for, Sean Killeen, but it doesn't seem to be working for me. So I've done something wrong, I'm sure. I do want to keep this around. Just give Sean a shout out for that blog post. Okay, well, I think I'm going to move on to the next thing. We kind of got that working. It's pretty much what I wanted to figure out was, could I get... Oh, wait, what happened? I hit Control-C here, and something happened. Let me try this again. Oh, interesting. It was locked up or something. Oh, no. But it's working now. A round of trivia or Jackbox. Okay, seems like a good time for that. What would you prefer? Guy from Mars, you want trivia or you want Jackbox? Jackbox has trivia, by the way. Hey, Jimmy Bossy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So let me know, Guy from Mars, what would you like? Well, better hurry up, Guy from Mars. Let me show you. You've seen the trivia already, probably, if you've been to my channel before. But here is, I have all the Jackboxes here. Happy to play one of those. Like Quiplash is always a fun one. Okay, Jackbox. All right, then we're going to play some Quiplash. Quiplash XL is what we're going to play. This is a relatively quick game. Whoa. And loud. Now, if there's not enough people to play, Guy from Mars, sorry, but we're going to have to cancel. But here's what I'm going to need. Some ground rules first, all right? Because Quiplash requires you to type in little quips and answers, all right? If you want to play, you're going to need to agree to keep it family friendly, all right? PG or lower, all right? So why don't I open up Quiplash here off screen. And then I have the code, so I'm going to join on my, I'll join on my device, on my computer here. Okay, so I'm now joined. And if you want the code, I will whisper it to you, okay? So you need to go to, well, let me just, if you never played this before, go to, open in a browser, your phone or whatever, go to jackbox.tv, all right? And then you're going to need to enter your name and a 4-letter code. The 4-letter code is what I will give you here in chat. I will whisper it to you. So Guy from Mars, you got to come in your way. Maybe, if I can figure out how to whisper. I can't figure out how to whisper from here. Okay, well, let me just say this. I want you to keep it family friendly, all right? Here is the code. Enter that into Jackbox TV on your page here. Enter whatever name you like. We got Kevin in, so I'll just show it on the screen here. And JR is in, all right. Wait for you, Guy from Mars. Anybody else who wants to play? Go to jackbox.tv. It's a website. Open in any browser you want to. Mobile phone, desktop, doesn't matter. Enter a code. I see Mars has joined. We got room for 8. All right. Anybody else want to get in on this? We've got, we've got a good 20-ish viewers. I'm going to play a quick game of Cliplash. I promise this will be easy, it'll be fun, and it'll be short. So if you want to get in on this action, all you need is a web browser to play. So I will show it on the screen here. There we go. This is how you do it. It says mobile device here. You don't have to use mobile device. I'm just going to use a regular old web browser. You don't need an app or anything like that. We got Max in. What's going on, Max? Hey, say hello in the channel, Max, so I know who you are. Just a little message in the chat there, if you would please, Max. It's the Rob White. That must be Max. Okay, remember, please keep the answers and the jokes family friendly, PG or lower, please. Keep it professional. I would appreciate that. These games can get very colorful and rowdy, but I'm trusting you all to keep it professional and relatively family friendly. Give another couple minutes here for other people to get in. The way this game works, yeah, it is trust. Not a good idea on Twitch, as I've done this in the past and it's gone horribly, horribly wrong. But I know most of these people, with the exception of Max, so hopefully we'll be fine. The way you play this game is it's going to show you a prompt on your device. It's going to ask you for a quip. It's going to be like some silly prompt like, what's the name of Apple's Apple's new operating system code name? And you put in some sort of funny quip. And then when we're all entered our quips, they'll show up on the screen here, and we can vote on which quip is the best. And you get more points the more votes you get. And then we'll play another round of that, and then a final round, which is just a shared prompt, and then that's it. That's the game. All right, we're going to start in going once, going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I'm going to get back to some coding. Quiplash.
Welcome, Quiplash. Schmitty, host. Enough with me jabbering. Let's go.
I agree.
I had a dream that you were all together. Well, it was actually a nightmare, but let's get started.
Yeah. I'm with the Schmitty.
This is round 1. You'll get 2 prompts on your device. Just answer them however you want. Your responses, or quips, will be pitted against someone else's, and everyone will vote on their favorite. You get points based on the percentage of people who like your answer, and a bonus if you get more votes than your opponent. Go!
Kevin's got his answers in already. Kevin must have played this before. All right. Waiting on you, Max, and a guy from Mars. You have a quip? What does that mean, you have a quip? Going to set current project. be jackbox.tv. Couldn't understand that URL. Oh boy. Current project HTTP jackbox.tv. There we go. Alright, guy from Mars. Hurry it up. You got 10 seconds left. Alright, we got him in.
Okay, here we go. First up, a more environment-friendly alternative to toilet paper.
Oh, ouch.
Okay, everyone, vote for your favorite.
That does not sound very comfortable. So on your device or your browser, just click the one you like the best and click vote. Everyone, look at your browsers, please. Time is running out. Someone didn't vote. We're missing one vote. I think it's you, guy from Mars.
Next in line, the least romantic place to propose marriage. Time to vote.
Oh gosh. Funny story. I didn't propose to my wife there, but our first date was actually at Taco Bell. Fortunately, it was uphill from there, or downhill from there, whatever. All right, now we got the hang of it.
And next, a weird physical way to greet someone. Vote on your devices.
I assume that means high five? Salute. So both. A salute's probably a better greeting these days, right? with no contact. Still a little weird though. JR cleaning up.
Okay, next one. The best thing about living in an igloo. It's voting
No
time.
need for air conditioner. That would be the best thing for me, I think. I like it cold. Get those votes in. Oh, shut out. Shut up, my Max.
Next one, the worst shape for an animal cracker. Vote on your devices.
Dash? Just like a worm? Beaver would be pretty good shape. Got that nice, that big like beaver tail. Alright. So I'm in the minority there.
Round one
That
is
was round
in the
one.
books. Let's see the scores.
So far, Max is taking it. The ringer
On to
from
round
Dover.
two, where all points are doubled. Doubled, I say.
All right. I'm in first this time. Got JR in. The third round will be even quicker than these rounds, by the way. Waiting on Guy from Mars and Kevin Griffin. Let's go, guys. About 10 seconds left. All right.
Let's take a look. Our first prompt is something you should not do while crowd surfing. Okay, voting time. Pick your favorite.
Oh, the same answer, basically. I think that's a perfect time because you're not going to be around that person for much longer. You just get out of there. Dota 2 Attitude, what's going on? You just missed getting into the Jackbox game. Thanks for dropping in, though. We're going to vote for Toot. JR cleaning up again.
And next is something you'd sneak into space if you were an astronaut. Time to vote.
Another dash. This is more of an oof stream. Oof. Deep fryer. Deep fry in space. That would be something to see.
Next up, the most German-sounding word you can invent. It's voting
Let me try if I
time.
can say them. Guten Fahrenheit? Guten Fahrenheit. Or Code Schniff. Code Schniff, like a code smell. I like it. Should I try to get this code pushed before I show up at the dev meetup or play video games? I'm going to say get the code pushed. Code and Schniff. I like that. Code Schniff.
Coming up next, what's that stain?
Ooh. 5-year-old soup or plus? What's going on with the characters? The minus and the plus. What are you doing, Kevin? 5-year-old soup. Were you putting some emojis in or something? Is that what happened? Emoji
Next
fail.
up.
Ah, there you go.
Something fun to yell during an opera.
Hey, batter
It's
batter.
voting time.
Jalapenos. Why would you yell jalapenos? Jalapenos. Oh, man. I got the one.
Round 2 is now complete.
All right.
Let's see who
I think
completes
JR
the
has probably
round.
got to be in first place now, right? Yeah, JR taking it. All right, last round.
And now, round 3, the last lash. Point values are tripled, and you'll all be answering the same prompt this time. The last lash prompt is
Another
the
soup
worst
related.
soup flavor cream of blank.
Oof. Cream of. I mean, I know cream of mushroom is a real one that I hate. Any cream of soup I really hate. If I'm honest. This one might be a little inappropriate, but I'm saying it anyway. All right, what we got?
Let's see the responses.
You can vote three times. You
Okay,
get a
in
first,
round
second,
3,
third.
you
It's
get
kind of
to
like
award 3
rank.
votes. You can give them all to one answer or spread them out.
Cream of poop. Cream of groves? Cream of nettle. That sounds painful to eat. I don't know if cream of groves, what that would really taste like. Probably tastes like super bland. Well, Dota, you know, I'm the one playing video games right now. I am very irresponsible. So one of us has got to be responsible around here. If it's not going to be me, then it should be you. All right, got to remember, vote 3 times now. You get 3 clicks there. Cream of Groves. That's 1 vote. Well, from me. Cream of Nettle gets a vote. Also from me. Cream of Bat cleaning up with 3 votes. Cream of Mustard. I don't know about that one. Wow. Okay. It's a tie, JR. And
That's it.
Guy from
Let's
Mars.
take a look at the final scores.
the first winner is... JR. Congratulations. Congrats, JR Lawhorn, for winning the very first round of Jackbox redeemed here on Office Hours. So that was fun. Tell him what he wins. You win nothing. Sorry. I don't have any prizes for winning Jackbox. Oh, well, that was a fun diversion. That seemed to work okay. Thank you for redeeming that guy from Mars. I think I'm limited that to 2 times a stream. So if you got the space bucks, or sorry, buckazoids, you can redeem them if you'd want to. So this is a question mark. Next thing we're going to look at, we got 45 minutes left. I think we're going to get to check out some Couchbase FakeIt stuff. So let's go open that up. So we're going to go to Couchbase FakeIt on GitHub, and here it is. Oof, no RPI cluster prize, no Raspberry Pi cluster prizes yet. No, well done. The Rob Whites. Yes, thank you much for playing, Rob White. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with us. Raspberry Pi cluster prizes, huh? You know, I'm trying to get. This is one of the on my backlog. I'm glad you thought it was fun, J.L. Lawhorn. Jackbox is really fun. I love playing it. Playing with my family all the time. One of the things I'm trying to do when I get some time is set up another raffle ticket system, so you can redeem your Buckazoids to buy a raffle ticket, where I give away a prize every week or so. You know, I did that Pluralsight video. I got a little bit of funds from that, so I thought I would take it and give it away to my to people on my channel who are hanging out the most. But I just haven't got around to actually coding that. Dota 2 attitude. I saw you guys have support for AWS with Couchbase. Yes, we do. A number of different ways you can deploy Couchbase to AWS, and I will bring them up here.
Bing, bada, boom.
Hey, thank you for the follow, the Rob White. Appreciate it. Hope you'll come back and hang out with us again. So, of course, you can always run AWS on S3 directly. Or, sorry, Couchbase on AWS S3 directly, right? That's sort of the, you know, you can run anything on S3 directly, right? The next option, you can run Couchbase with a Kubernetes operator on EKS, right? I think I skipped one, is Couchbase via AWS Marketplace, which ultimately is the same thing as running on S3, but it uses templates to create that for you. And of course, the brand new format is, the brand new way you can do is Couchbase Cloud, which is managed. It's new, and it's the managed slash DBaaS Couchbase offering. You can run on Couchbase Cloud. And right now, it runs in your, what do they call them? VPC? AWS runs in Yoru VPC. RDS replacement. Which one is an RDS replacement? I mean, Couchbase in general, I don't know if I'd consider an RDS relational database replacement, but Couchbase Cloud would certainly be, if you want a managed database, you could use that in place of that. Right now, there is a 30-day free trial, and hopefully, coming soon, I know for sure, is Azure and GCP, and coming soon, hopefully, I don't have a timeline on this one, even one that I can't tell you, is a free developer tier. So that is why you can get Couchbase on AWS. We have a lot of customers on AWS, and Couchbase Cloud is relatively new, but there are a few on that. A lot of them are on either S3 or I think most probably on S3. Probably most everybody's on S3. And then we have a few that are on using the operator on EKS. There may be others deploying to EKS without the operator, but I don't know. Yeah, cloud is the one I want too, Dota 2 attitude. But what I really want is the Azure option. I can't wait for that, honestly, and or the free developer tier. Those are the ones I want. Don't have them yet, but they are coming soon. I'm super happy that Couchbase Cloud is out and ready to go. So if you want to give that a try, Dota 2, you can go to cloud.couchbase.com. I think that's where you can go. Hey, Kevin Griff, thanks for hanging out and playing a little Jackbox with us. Good to see you. Go record some videos. Cool. You can go to cloud.couchbase.com. Oh, you want to ignore that information on there. I don't think that's sensitive, but I don't want to show you that. And I think you can also go to couchbase.com/cloud, maybe. And there's like a like a request for you can go through, like this whole deal right here to get the free trial. Right, so couchbase.com/cloud. So that's how you can do it. It'll take a while to switch to NoSQL anyhow. Yeah. Well, I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure. I don't know for 100% sure, and I'm not making promises here. But I'm pretty sure we'll see Azure and GCP options this calendar year. Again, I could absolutely be wrong about that. I'm not like a product manager or core developer on that team or anything like that. I don't know about this one. If it was me, this is what I'd like to see from day one. But that's coming, as far as I know, that's coming soon. That's the most I'll say, soon. And the background is really starting to get fuzzy again. I got everything closed. Maybe it's this window over here. Hang on. That's a little better. I got some sunlight coming in through the window over there. Yeah, I tend to test stuff on small scale, then suggest it at work. Yep, I think a lot of developers do. Not that I work, but once I do. Right. Certainly when you're actually in gainful employment. Dota's Attitude, by the way, was the one I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, who was the guest last week, and the great Ruby on Rails stream. So we want to go back to YouTube, bit.ly/GrovesTube, and check that out. It was really good stuff there. We did a lot of yak shaving, but we eventually did get something that worked great. And we're going to be doing something similar with J.R. Lawhorn coming up a week from today. If you want to be on, by the way, as a guest, show something, hopefully with Couchbase, right? I would love to have you on. Or if you want to learn about Couchbase and just have like a one-on-one stream, just come on here and be a guest. That'd be great. I think it'd be great. You have to win the Quip game first. Yes. You have to win Quiplash. Then you can be a guest. Only then. I only want the best quippers on this stream. Not true. Okay, so this is Brandt's repo for the Docker images. I'm going to go ahead and fork skis. Let me close down Steam here while I'm at it. Okay, what is this? Oh, compute emulator. That's from the Azure functions. Okay. So then I'm going to clone this one locally. Clone. Yep. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, what's this called? It's called Couchbase FakeIt. I'm going to create myself a branch. Call it community. Call it latest community. How's that? Latest community server. And switch to that branch. Switch to branch, which, okay, look at that. He's calling it main now. Or is that something GitHub is doing? It's just automatically making everybody from master into main. Either way, it's main, not master. So that's cool, but I'm creating my own branch called latest community server, latest server community. What I want to do is just try this out. So right now he puts them on Docker Hub, so you can get :latest, although I'm not 100% sure, as we discovered recently that latest isn't actually latest right now. So use Couchbase FakeIt, create your own Docker file, uses Couchbase. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Bucket configuration, creating views, yada, yada, yada. Creating events. So what I want to do is, not in here, cproj, Couchbase, FakeIt. Do I have anything running? I don't. So I have this Docker file here. Open it up. And hopefully it's as simple as just changing one thing. From enterprise here to community here. Hopefully that's it. But I need to be able to test that. So was it Docker build? Request image, build image from Docker file. Build this one? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and build my very tiny modification to it. And it's going to go and do a bunch of stuff. So this image does a lot of things, by the way. It's not just I mean, the main thing that I like that it does is it actually configures the Couchbase server, so you don't have to do the manual steps. But there's a lot of other stuff you can do, right? You can actually, DevOps is slow because of Docker files. Well, if you have to build a lot of Docker files from scratch, yeah. But you can, bucket configuration. I can set up buckets with all the different settings. I can generate data with FakeIt that's built into this image. I can create views, which I recommend you not do, but you can create views. You can create indexes, nickel indexes, with either these or with YAML. Create full text search index. You can create events, which actually this won't work with the community edition because the community edition doesn't have events. But you can do all those things with just setting a few files and setting a few environment variables in Docker, which makes it ideal for the kind of stuff that JR is doing with the demo app. Makes it ideal for integration testing. And I think Brant's doing it because it makes it ideal for setting up environments for his team in an automated way. You just commit a Docker compose file to the repo, and everyone can pull that and then run it, and they're instantly working on the same page. All the data setup is scripted out. JR says, yeah, I use it for dev. Dota2 says, yeah, this looks quite good. It is quite good. It's something that I've known existed for a while, but I haven't really had any need of it until I get into the CI/CD, integration testing, automation stuff, where it's very, very handy compared to just the normal stock image. This is not an official Couchbase thing at all. This is totally an open source project that Brant has created and hosts, doesn't host, but has available out there in Docker Hub. So while we're waiting, let's just go look over at what Docker Hub Couchbase FakeIt. Really, I think it's not. That's GitHub. Here we go. That's not it either. It's not the most ideal name for it because it does so much more than just FakeIt. Well, shoot. Isn't there a hub.docker.com? Isn't there a search there? Yeah, here it is. So it's under BT Burnett 3, right? It's nothing to do with the Couchbase organization. But you can see tags here. Let's just see if latest actually is, yeah. Notice this was updated 3 years ago. I wish I'd noticed this when I was working with this because this is definitely not 6.5.1, right? You can see the digest here. If I just paid any attention at all, I would have noticed that latest is not the same as 6.5.1. So latest is out of date, but 6.5.1 is here. But notice it's all enterprise. There is no community. Ubuntu image. So these all use the Couchbase images, and there's a tool that you can, I forget what it's called. There's a tool you can use to look at the actual stack. But these all just build on the official Couchbase images. They build on them. I'm pretty, no, I don't think it's Alpine. I think it is, it's either, shoot. I don't think it's Ubuntu. It's either, well, I mean, I think this is in, it's open source as well. We can just look. Here we go. Couchbase Docker. And you can see all the different versions here. Couchbase server. So 5.1. Docker file. Okay, it is Ubuntu. Look at that. I was wrong. It is Ubuntu. I think it wasn't always Ubuntu, but there it is. Ubuntu 16 is what 6.5.1 is using. I only asked because I like everything install sometimes so I can vim and things in the container. Yeah, right. I think I know what you mean. I thought it used to be either, what's it called? Either Debian or, beans. What's the other one called? Not Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Fedora. I thought it was either Debian or Fedora. But I mean, if you want to change it to Debian or Fedora, I think it might be as easy as doing a fork and changing this. I'm not 100% sure on that. Not at all. But if you really care about which Linux distro is running, you can probably go in there and change that. But more likely, if you really care that much about the distro, you probably want to use a VM anyway, right? Okay, so let's see. How are we doing? Got some errors. Sometimes the install commands change also, but yeah, right, you're right. Yeah, with Ubuntu you've got apt-get. I forgot about that. Right. So with Red Hat you have d package, or no, that's Debian d package, and Red Hat has something else different, I think. But yeah, so you have to do some other changes. What all these error messages mean? So many. These might mean nothing important. Yeah, apt-get is what Linux, or is what Ubuntu uses. Does Red Hat also use apt-get? It said successfully built, so I don't know. Let's just try it. Docker images. I didn't give it a name, did I? But here it is. Docker. How does Docker tag work? You can't see that stuff at the bottom of the screen, can you? 1.4 gigabytes. That does seem a little large, doesn't it? Is that the right one? Makes me want to share the volume with a DB. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. I'm not really. I just want to make sure it works and that it's valid. Docker tag source image. Okay, I'm going to tag it as, I don't know, Matt's FakeIt. Oh, source image. I don't think there is a tag. Okay. Target image. Huh? Matt's FakeIt, something like that. Red Hat uses DNF now, but still supports Yum. Yum is, I think, what I was thinking of. Okay, so there's Matt's FakeIt. Oh, I think I didn't mean to give this the name repository ID. Whatever. All right, let's just try it. Docker starts, and oh, jeez, I can never remember the syntax for this. Couchbase. I'm always bad at this. I have to look it up every time. Every single time. .NET run. I put in start, didn't I? Ugh. See, this is why I'm bad at these things. I can't remember all the different commands. -D. We'll give it a name of Matt's FakeIt image. -P 8091 is all I really care about. And name of the image. Okay. I use compose. Embarrassing, I know. I don't know what that means why I use compose and why that would be embarrassing. Seems to be running. Let's see. Oh. Does it give it a default? You can make a Docker compose file. Right. Yeah, nothing wrong with compose. I don't remember defining any credentials. Does it give some by default? It does. Oh, this isn't right. This still says enterprise. I got the wrong thing, I think, going on here. This is what I was using yesterday, wasn't it? Oh, wait. I think I know the problem. Yeah, Docker Compose makes sense for multiple images at once. Yeah, I generally don't use Docker Compose unless I'm building something like that. And basically GitHub Actions is kind of like Docker Compose in a way. I think I have Couchbase Server running on Windows directly, so I should have closed that down too. I'm surprised it didn't give me an error for using the same port. Let's try this again. Administrator, password. Okay, this looks more like it. For me, that's Couchbase and Sync Gateway. Yeah, those often go. Yeah, Community Edition. Okay, so I think that works. I think that's all I really need to do. Now, I'm not doing a lot of heavy testing here of the scripts. But I mean, hypothetically, I could push this out to my own Docker hub and start using it. But what I'd like to do, if Brant's open to it, and I think he is for them all those FakeIt images to be, I don't want to have to, the only thing I'm forking is basically this part, this community edition part up here. All the other scripts and stuff, I don't want to have to maintain those. So the only thing I guess would be worth doing is updating the README to say if using community, then obviously, eventing's not going to work, or well, that's really the only thing I think I can think of is eventing's not going to work. Disable as enterprise features. Well, the only one I know of that's really supported by this FakeIt is the eventing. Although memory optimized would be another one that's not supported by community as well. So, I mean, as long as you're running this, you understand that, then that's not a big deal. But it might be worth a note in the README. Maybe just somewhere in the bottom, I don't know. Note in README would be good, yeah. So if you are using the Couchbase server community images, then note that enterprise, that configuration of enterprise features may cause your settings, scripts, no, not scripts, what is it called? Bucket configuration? Buckets.json? I'm gonna say configuration. Configuration to fail. For example, Couchbase server community does not support is the right word, does not have eventing. Therefore, eventing therefore any JSON configuration files in events folder. JR, I recognize that name. Yeah, JR Lawhorn, man. Or are you talking about something else? For any JSON configuration files in the folder may be ignored, or may cause your configuration to fail. Couchbase server community does not support memory optimized index storage. So setting memory optimized. So setting CB index storage to memory optimized may be ignored or may cause your configuration to fail. For more information on the differences, I only watch the Groves. I'm literally the only person you watch on Twitch. You should definitely check out some of the other team members. Some really good stuff. You might even find some, not necessarily team members, I can't think of any offhand that do PHP, but other streamers who are working on PHP. I know I've seen at least one, but we'll go to live coders and ads. Definitely a couple lists you want to check out there, people to follow. Not that I suggest you should ever miss one of my streams, but there are other great people out there doing some great stuff. Or you could start your own stream. That would be good too. I would tune in for that. Okay, for more information on the differences between community and enterprise editions, check out this page, which is couchbase.com/editions, I think. Yes. Check out. More information. Read about the differences between. And how do you do links? Okay. It's square brackets and then parentheses is where the link goes. Let's get a quick preview of that. Okay, make sure that looks good. Note on Community Edition. If you're using Couchbase Server Community images, note that configuration of enterprise features may cause your settings configuration to fail. For example, Couchbase Server Community does not have eventing. Therefore, any JSON configuration files in the events folder may be ignored or may cause your configuration to fail. Couchbase Server Community does not support memory optimized index storage. Settings to be index stored and memory optimized may be ignored or may cause your configuration to fail. For more information, read about the differences between Community and Enterprise editions. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. What I'm going to submit to him is just a pull request with the README changes and basically just this change and nothing else. And we'll see what he thinks about that. Okay, so adding Community Edition. Because ultimately it's his Docker hub. So what he says goes. We'll just commit this in here. That's to mine, and I'll push it out to mine. Yep, same remote branch origin. Okay. Okay, then I will go out to here to my repo and pull request. I just put some. It seems to work fine. Just changing the base image. I'm loving the simplicity of Git at the command line. Certainly, Dev, more power to you. But as you've seen examples of here already, I am rubbish with the command line. I can't remember the flags. I can't remember the ordering. I'm terrible at that stuff. So I end up spending more time looking it up and trying to remember it, trying to memorize it, and it just falls out of my head. The UI stuff, I can kind of muddle my way through it. I didn't change any scripts, but I did put a note about Community Server, Community Edition in the README. What do you think? I don't think he has any test suites for this, so I'm just gonna. This is just be a conversation starter, basically. If he rejects this or says I need more testing or need more of this, need more of that, totally reasonable. But I'm gonna submit that one, and there we go. Let's see. I'm with occasional drop into Get Kraken. Calvin Allen loves to get Kraken around here. If you want to see the branches or paths and merges, there was a UI, and I can't remember which one, that would show you command line it was about to execute. I may be thinking Tortoise HG, that was for Mercurial. Does anybody still use Mercurial? I don't know if this shows you the actual command line. It might be an option somewhere, but when it runs, I think it shows you in the little text box the command lines. But again, I'm just so used to the UI, and I'm just so bad at remembering those things. Oh, he does have some tests, but they're all interesting. They're all running against various editions. Did I screw something up here? Maybe he passes in different arguments for those? I don't know. Because I didn't really change anything. These tests should all pass. So I might have to add, okay. He's got some GitHub Actions somewhere. Probably, yeah. That's probably what I should do, is add it to that. Ah, shoot. I should have done that. GitHub, Docker Publish, and just put in Community 605.1. And Community 605.1. And I don't know if there's anything in here that runs eventing scripts or anything. for testing purposes. Well, there's one, Docker Compose test. That may be a problem. Where is that? Docker Compose test. Where is the Docker Compose test? Huh? Am I missing something here? I don't have a Docker Compose test. So where does that come from? Atlassian are dropping Mercurial on Bitbucket. I think I heard that, but does that mean Mercurial is... I don't think that means Mercurial is going away. I'm sure there must be some, a lot of code bases out there still in Mercurial. Oh, this is also pushing into the registry. Run tests. Automated testing. Yeah, I just don't know where this comes from. It's building the Docker file, sure, with the right tag. But where is... Oh, if-f. So if there is a Docker Compose test YAML. I don't see one, though. I think it means that if you have still a Mercurial repo on there, you have a week or 3 left. Otherwise, you'll lose... Oh, really? So the code is just straight up gone. They're not migrating it over to Git or something for you. Mercurial's kind of dead. No, that's what I was asking. I honestly never use Mercurial. So I don't know. But I there was a period of time where it was like Mercurial and Git were like going head to head. But yeah, you don't see any Mercurial hubs out there that are getting acquired by Microsoft. So I don't know. Kind of a shame. I like to see competition. Basically, it's just GitHub and Git versus what? People still on Subversion? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll push this out there too. Maybe I run it myself. I don't know. Used to use Perforce. Yeah, there's probably a bunch of niche players out there. Let me try committing this. Adding community to test matrix. Yeah, it's not going to actually push it because I don't have the secret in there. But let's see if that GitHub action runs on my repo. See if it passes a test or whatnot. That'll probably... That's going to tack on to the pull request I sent him, isn't it? Yep, it is. I hope that doesn't... I hope that... That would be a problem if it immediately pushed out to his hub. But let's just see what happens. It's got all these tests running. Those could take a while, so we'll come back to that. In the meantime, just put a question mark there. And the last thing I'll do is we got a few minutes. We got 10 minutes here left. It should be totally fine. I want to show you all something. I've been having a little bit of fun with this. Sometimes, it's hit or miss. A little bit of fun with it. It's called Clash of Code. And this is kind of like, if you ever heard of Project Euler before, or if you ever heard of Code Golf, it's kind of a bit of that. It's a game. It's a multiplayer game where you write code in the language of your choice to solve a problem. The ones that bother me is the Code Golf. I've never liked Code Golf. I would omit those if I knew how to. But Code Golf is basically solve this problem, make these tests pass with the smallest code, like literally the smallest letters of code, smallest size, total characters, total bytes, which I find to be counterintuitive to what a programmer does. In reality, I don't want to make my code as super small as possible. I want to make it really easy to read. So those bother me. But there's other ones where basically you're given a problem, you're given a series of unit tests, and you gotta solve it. So I'm gonna just going to join one here and show you this in action. All takes place in a browser. I'm going up against 2 other people for this one. Okay. Okay. So this is just you gotta solve it as fast as possible. Doesn't matter how much code you write. So Ben and Tom send messages to you describing the temperature of their countries. Okay. Ben lives in the U.S. Tom lives in the U.K. Ben uses Fahrenheit. Tom uses Celsius. Ben will send you input as T, or as B and T. There'll be an N, number of inputs, sure. For each line, output higher if Ben's temperature is higher than Tom's, and output lower if Ben's temperature is lower than Tom's. Okay. So, so basically I want to convert Tom to UK. So Tom Fahrenheit equals. And how do I convert Fahrenheit to Celsius? I think it's just multiply, right? How to convert times okay. So Fahrenheit equals, shoot, I'm going to go Fahrenheit to Celsius. I want to go the other way. I want to go Celsius to Fahrenheit. So it's times 9 divided by times 9/5 plus 32. So that equals T times 9.0 divided by 5.0 plus 32. And so if let's see, if Ben's temperature is higher, if B is greater than T, then console.writeLine higher. Else console.writeLine lower. And then I can play these test cases, see if they work. Oh, if they're the same. Okay. Else if T less than B, lower. Else console.writeLine same. Okay. Okay, and I'll play all of them. Oh, this one failed. Why is that? So maybe I'm going to the other way around. So B equals T. Then I'm going to console writeLine same. Else, if B greater than T, write higher. Else, okay, let's try that again. I always hit Control S. Okay, I'm going to click the symbol console. What did I do here? Oh, just get rid of the else. Found higher, expected lower. Am I doing this wrong? Temperature times 9/5 plus 32. Or 1.8 is another way to do it. 8. Use your new var. Oh, gosh. I'm so stupid. Okay. Okay. T under F. Yeah. It goes all trouble making that, and then I forget to use it. Okay, all the test cases pass. Submit, and there we go. And then I can share my code. Other people want to see how I solved it. But of course, I was the slowest one. Nathan beat me by 11 seconds. But as you keep going, playing these games, you earn, like, I don't know, experience points and stuff. And you go up the leaderboard, and you can say, oh, this was pretty fun. It was perfect difficulty. Statement was very clear, and test cases were ideal. So submit. All right, what do you think? So Clash of Code, I'd recommend this. This is fun stuff. You don't have to write C# like I did. You can pick, most people seem to pick Python, especially for the code golf stuff. You can do a lot of, you can do a lot with some concise Python. But like I said, I'm not really all about the conciseness. It's not really my deal. So here, I'll do another one. So it's up to 8 players. It's kind of like Jackbox a little bit with coding. So if you want to join this, here it is. You can click on this link right there and join the Clash of Code that I'm currently waiting on. So we got 3 spots that are open. Oh, too late. They kicked it off manually. Okay, so you can see I can select other languages up here, Bash and F# and so on. All right, find the smallest and largest number that can be constructed for given numbers of digits and sum of digits. Numbers of digits, sum of digits. So two space-separated numbers. Okay, that's doing that right there. Output smallest and largest numbers separated by space. Numbers are going to be less than 2 to the 63rd power. I'm confused. So if I get 4 and 5 as inputs, the output is 1004 and 5000. Number of digits and sum of digits. Oh, okay, got it. So the number can't be more than four digits, and it can't add up to more than 5. Okay, interesting. I guess I could brute force this. There's probably a mathematical trick for this, right? We can start by, let's see. So how many, we got to figure out a range. So 4 digits. D is 4. So how do we get, starting at 1000? So how do I go from 4 to 1000? See, this is where it's not really about coding. This is where it gets kind of, outside my normal area of coding, is that I have to think about this in terms of math. And this is not a typical problem I'd have to solve working on a web app, for instance. I may, but it's not typically. So how do I create a 4? Okay, so array of digits maybe and operate on it. Yeah, I'm thinking like start number equals. I'm just trying to brute force this. Is what I'm thinking. So start number equals a let's say string, new string of size D. So start num 0 equals 1. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, okay. And then for I equals 1, I less than D, I plus plus, say start num I equals 0. Okay, so that's my starting number. Oh, it should be in quotes. And then I want to make sure, yeah, and then so end number, there end number equals new string of D. So end number 0 is going to equal to 9. You see where I'm going with this? Again, just brute forcing it. End number I equals 9. So that's the largest and the smallest n-digit numbers there. So start equals int dot parse start num for end equals int dot parse end num. Oh, because it's an array. So string dot join, I guess. String dot join. I'm sure I'm doing this the absolute sloppiest, longest way. It doesn't like that. Do I need double quotes? Okay. String dot join end num. Okay. Whoops. Keep hitting Control S. Force of habit. All right. For var I, let's just call this j equals start j less than or equal to end j plus plus, and then num equals j dot toString, and we can say let's just say sum j dot toString dot select. This is going to be a number n dot toString. No. Int dot parse n. Wait. That's going to be free from char. So yeah, again, this is going to be extra wordy. So I'm going to convert them to numbers and then sum them, select them and then sum them up. And I'm going to say if sum equals s, then solution equals sum. And I'm going to set int solution equal to -1. And so then all I have to do is write out the solution here at the end. See if that works. Found 5. Expected 1004. What did I do wrong here? I really wish this was easier to read. Here we go. Loop through this. So this should be creating, if it's 4, for instance, it should be 1000. This should be 9999. Just print those out with the old console write line. Start num, end num. There's string arrays. Okay, yeah, I know. Start and end. Try again. Okay, that should be right. 1000 to 999. So j equals 1000 to start with. As long as j is less than 9999, then go through it. Take that number, convert it to a string, select them all, parse them into numbers, sum them up. And if the sum is equal to s, which is the input that was given me, then that's a solution, potential solution. What are we doing here? What am I doing wrong? This is a integer, yeah. Why is it starting out so low? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, no. Should be start. Should be 1000. Why is it starting at 1? Should be 1000. Well, I'm over time right now, but I'm going to solve this and then I'm going to find someone to raid. I do have a time limit on this. I've got less than 7 minutes left to solve it. So, after this one, we're going to raid. Select sum. What am I doing wrong here? Select each of those, parse it to an integer. That's char. So I'm taking that, convert it to a string. So I can take each individual number and then sum them. I haven't figured out a way to set breakpoints in here either. It's not taking distinct numbers, I don't think, right? That wouldn't make any sense. It should take 1000. The number 1000. Convert it to a string. 1000. Select that. The sum. Okay, the sum is going to be 1. Yeah. Oh. No. The solution is not the sum. The solution is the number. There we go. Okay. Get rid of that. Found 5000. Expected. Oh, and I got to write out. Okay. I got to write out the number. Oh wait, I must have come with 2 solutions, aren't I? Gosh, this should be solution 2. The smallest and the largest, right? Okay, easy. New list event. Then I just add, whoops. Solutions.add j. Let's say solutions.min and solutions.max. Boom. Play all test cases. Oh, full capacity. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that is where brute force fails. This test is here to catch brute force. To say, no, don't use brute force. Alright, at which point I give up. Because I don't have enough time to figure out the whole math approach. Oh, now I've got an overflow exception. With that huge number. So, yep, so clearly I think there's a more mathematical way to approach this. I'm just approaching it brute force, which is obviously not what they're looking for. Interesting special cases here. Let's see if I passed that one. I did. So I passed 4 tests. I failed 3. I'm going to go ahead and submit and share my code. Even though it's going to give me a fail, I think. Oh, I got 42%. Oh, look at that. So right now I'm the highest. I'm the winner of this one, even though I didn't get all the tests to pass. I got 42% of them passed. These other 2 have got 0. They must have just given up at some point and said, nah. Difficulty is, I don't want to say too hard. It was hard, though. It was fun. A statement was very clear. Test cases were, yep, good. All right, so that's it. Clash of Code. It's fun stuff. I'll probably do more of this in future streams. But for right now, it's time to raid somebody. Let Matt win. That's what we did, all right. Oh, were you in there, Dota 2? All right, who we got? Who should be raided? Any suggestions from this list right here? We got lucky number 11. Do some hardware stuff. People I don't think I've raided before. That one looks like it's Portuguese. I probably won't go there. Trezzy codes? I challenge you to a code duel. Interesting. You weren't in there, Dota 2. How'd you could probably use Ruby to play code for Clash. And the thing is, you can play Ruby, you can pit Ruby against C#, right? And you can kind of see the same code if people share their results with you. So what is a code duel? Should we go to Trezzy codes? Any objections against Trezzy codes? Burn. Wonder if Ruby would win. Well, if we're talking code golf, I don't think so. I think probably Python or Perl is always going to win. But, Ruby may have some functions that make it more readable or easier to come up with a solution. All right. Oh, it looks like Trezzy Codes is playing Clash of Codes. So we're going to go and raid Trezzy Codes. There you go. There is your raid text if you want to copy that if you're a subscriber. Or you can, put your own emotes in there of your choice. Say hello to Trezzy Codes, and I will see you on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And we'll get back into some more office hours. So thank you all for joining. Thank you, the Rob White Twitch, for the follow. Thank you, Jimmy Bossy, for the follow. Thank you, MSID Dev, for the follow. And thank you, Corey CLW, for the amazing raid. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys later. See you all later.